Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a post-workout sunset version of our live, whatever you want to call it. I felt this morning I had a lot of great questions, which I love. I love when people ask questions because that tells me, what you guys are actually wanting. Um, didn't really answer the question as thoroughly as the ultimate guide for building muscle for skinny guys, as thoroughly as I'd wanted to. So I'm going to do that now. Dr. Stillman has a blood pressure webinar coming up later on in the month. There's a link below to that. You sign in through Streamyard to get into that, and you'll be able to access the blood pressure, signs, going to educate you about blood pressure and then things you can do to fix it naturally. So, and get on our email list. Wednesday night, we'll be sending out an email for we're doing as part of our testosterone course. We're doing the next, I think it's the last chapter in the course. We're going to give an overview of like HRT, peptides, all the things, and give our opinions on it. And if you notice, it's the last chapter in the course, not the first one. So that kind of gives you our philosophy, is where if you're going to choose to do that stuff, you need to have lifestyle stuff in order. But here we go. Tune in for that. Get on the email list. You'll get a link to that. That won't be streamed live, so you won't be able to watch that unless you're on the email list and get into the webinar and watch it. We're going to do that every week. We're constantly adding new content to our courses, and so we're going to let you guys get in on that to give you guys some value. So this morning we talked about when you're a beginner, you don't have to really do that much in the gym to get better. You need a good foundation, and then you need to increase your intensity. Programs like 531, Westside for Skinny Bastards, and then basically using exercise selection to kind of improve your position, your biomechanics, so that you don't end up like most meatheads walking like a fire hydrant and like just being really good at lifting weights and nothing else, which is fine if that's your goal. Great, no problem. There's a lot of guys that train really hard in the gym, and I was one of those guys, and if you put as much effort into your training as you did into sleep and eating a lot of good food, you would get much, much better results. A lot of people don't understand that what happens outside the gym has a bigger effect on what actually happens inside the gym. So you grow when you rest. So if you're trying to, you tear down that muscle tissue with your training, the appropriate volume, the appropriate intensity, and then you don't refeed and you don't sleep. Sleep is the most anabolic thing you can do. One of the best ways to gain muscle mass is to eat a lot of carbohydrates after you train. That's going to give you nice insulin surge. People don't understand insulin is the most anabolic hormone in the body, period. It's designed to get nutrients into cells. It's designed to make you grow. It helps with repair. So if you eat an insulin controlled lifestyle, you're eating, high quality foods with not a lot of refined sugar, and then you spike your insulin after you train, plus with strength training, you're going to get a really nice insulin response, and you're going to get more glycogen in the muscles. You're going to be able to basically grow. And most people have no idea how much food they actually need to eat to actually put on muscle mass. It's a lot. And that's why I really like the vertical diet. If you're a skinny guy, you got to be eating like steak and rice a lot. And steak and rice should be pretty much anyone who's trying to put on good solid weight. I mean, you can do the dirty bulk like Stan and I talked about with junk food, but that doesn't really end well. Your health starts suffering and it just doesn't end well. You're much better off just eating tons and tons of quality food. Stan has a great meal service, theverticaldiet.com. He doesn't have an affiliate program, so he can keep the prices down, but you can get like 1,100 calorie Monster Mash, World's Strongest Man Monster Mash for like $15, right? If you're a girl, or someone who's not trying to gain a lot of weight, you can divide that in two and have 2 meals from it for $7 a meal. And it's all grass fed. It's all high quality ingredients, sweet potato, all sorts of stuff. So you've got to eat a lot of food to put on high quality muscle, right? Muscle weight. And so a lot of people will put all this effort into training, and then they don't put any effort into sleep. They don't put any effort into eating, and they get piss poor results. So, and for me, the training is the easy part. That's the fun part. That's the enjoyable part. The real discipline comes from the lifestyle and the sleep and these decisions that you're making every day. That decision not to go out with your buddies on a Friday night and have, 5 or 6 drinks. that throws you off for 2 days, throws your training off. Those daily decisions that you make are going to have a massive effect on your results in the long run. And I think showing up in the gym and training, for me anyways, is the easy part. Like the training part is easy. It's the everyday life. It's the, are you drinking enough water? Are you getting outside? Is your circadian rhythm in order? Are you getting food? Are you eating a lot of high quality food? You're not eating junk. You're taking time to eat. You're taking time to rest. You're, 8 o'clock, 8:30 rolls around. Your screen is off. You put the blue blockers on. You take your sleep seriously. All those things play a massive, massive role. And most people just don't put the effort into it because it's not sexy. It's so much easier to go to the gym, pound an energy drink, turn the metallic up to level 12 and do all sorts of crazy stuff. That's a lot easier than it is to, go home, meditate, get in a bedtime routine, get Netflix off, and chill and go to sleep. I mean, that's not very exciting. But there's a reason why all the great bodybuilders in the 70s would basically train, eat, go to the beach, nap on the beach, get a tan, back to the gym, train, eat, sleep, train, eat, sleep, train, eat, sleep, train, eat, sleep. That's basically what they would do, and so that's one of the reasons they got insane amount of results with minimal drug usage, is because they really took their sleep seriously. And the pro bodybuilders do today too. Some of them do anyways, but the pro bodybuilders today tend to rely on the pharmaceuticals a little more than they did back in the 70s. So, I mean, there's just a lot more choices now than there was back then. But, I wanted to get on here because I didn't cover eating and nutrition. And if you're a hard gainer, if you're somebody who's really, really, really what we'd call skinny, you want to keep your protein moderate. You don't want to go with extreme levels of protein, because that's actually going to speed your metabolic rate up. It's going to make it harder for you to actually put on mass and weight. So you want to keep your protein like at a gram or maybe slightly less. And then you're going to want to have more carbohydrates, particularly after you train. And then, things like sweet potato, white rice. The vertical diet's perfect because you can eat massive amounts of food without feeling bloated. I can eat the 1,100 calorie world's strongest man meal and I'm satisfied, but I don't feel gross. I don't feel bloated. Whereas if you start eating, 1,100 calories of junk, you feel like crap. You feel like garbage. You digest it really quickly. And then, make sure that you're also doing some walking and low level intensity stuff to have the fitness so you can train hard. But guys have two extremes. They don't train really hard enough, or they don't have a base to train hard. So they try and train hard without having a good foundation, or they train really hard but they don't rest enough to actually get a good enough result from the training, or they train too much. They're doing too much volume. So you just kind of have to experiment. But if you want great results, you want to put on some muscle mass, eating and sleeping is your job. So with that being said, we will keep this short and sweet, unless you come on here and have some questions. Please like and subscribe. Check the links out in the description. And we will see you tomorrow at 9. If you guys have any suggestions of topics or things you'd like us to talk about, please leave them in the comments. We'd love to cover any topics you guys find interesting. So have a great night. Get outside. The sunset. It's not sunrise. Sunset is great to get out, to get outside during the sun. Thanks for the like. Getting outside during the sunset is a great way to wind down before bed. My dog's over here. You want me to play catch with him. I've kind of neglected him a little bit today. Been really busy. So have a great evening, guys. Get off your screen. Go outside. Get out. Take a walk at sunset. And we'll see you in the morning.